What's going on, everybody? This is IG the Genius.
Saad the Guru.
And I'm Kemi Alade.
Today is November 9th, 2017. This is another edition of Nabruh Talk. And today's guest is a Newark native, musician, psychology major, and you're also a student.
Hey, yo, where'd you get the idea of a musician from?
Because I'm going by your Instagram. It says music and band,
Oh,
so.
it does. It does say that.
You're a fraud.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
Why does
No, I'm
everyone
not a
say like
musician.
Newark native? Like
I say that. I
He
don't
says
know
that.
who
no,
else.
I saw like a page that said Newark natives.
I don't know.
That's
never
Jabril.
heard that. I don't use that.
Okay, there. That's probably why
That's
it sounded.
Jabril's IG.
He draws, right? And he films.
He's a photographer.
Photographer. There you go.
Yeah. You go to NJCU as well, right?
No, I go to St. Peter's.
Why did you tell me NJCU? So?
I really thought he went to NJCU.
Maybe because they both in Jersey City. I don't know.
St.
Oh.
Peter's.
St. Peter's though.
Alright, so your name
You
is
got me
Ibby?
all wrong.
Ibby?
My name is Ibrahim.
Ibrahim.
But, yeah, a lot of people can't pronounce that, so they call me Ib or Ibby.
What does Ibrahim mean?
Ibrahim is Arabic for Abraham.
Yeah,
Prophet.
Like the okay, all right, cool.
Persian background.
So,
yeah.
first, thank you for coming on Nabruh Talk today.
No problem.
Take us to Kim's corner.
Okay, so this is the. Well, you remember that? What was that show? This is the. Oh no, that was Bad Girls Club. This is the sun. This is the sun. No,
Yeah,
all right. Okay. So I just wanted to bring up like the whole Weinstein case. Are you guys familiar with
Yeah.
The what?
The what?
Weinstein? I forgot his first name, but the
Harvey.
big Harvey Weinstein. There we go.
I
That's
don't.
You
his
gotta
name.
fill me in because I have
Where?
no idea.
He's
When
like
did
a
you
big. Is he a producer, director?
He's a producer.
He's a big producer.
He's
in
part of the
Hollywood.
Khalif Brown documentary with Jay-Z.
For
Yes.
for decades he's been known for his name like is huge, you know.
Mhm.
And he recently, as of maybe like 4 to 5 weeks ago, people have been coming out with accusations of sexual harassment
boy.
and rape
Oh, I've
So-
heard about this. I have heard about this.
everywhere, and anybody from Angelina Jolie to Lupita Nyong'o.
Wow.
But Lupita's the only person he said he ain't touch her, you know, but everybody else he hasn't made a comment about.
I wonder why.
And I just thought it was funny because I was watching the news yesterday. It was 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Mhm.
7,
Ooh,
ABC.
true.
Yeah, I love that. Do you know where your children are? And they're like how Drake, 2 or 3 years ago, Harvey Weinstein asked to work with him and he turned it down. So what I'm trying to say is, you know, Hollywood's a whole nother beast, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm sure this happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's
So-
happening right now.
Is he wrong for the women and men who comply to his advances for the part, and then the women who turn him down? Is he wrong for what he's doing, or like is it
As in using his power to
his
course.
authority
Oh.
to?
Yeah, of course.
Of course he's wrong.
I feel like you should never use your power to get sex from women. I feel like that's
You
that's
call
First of all,
equivalent
that
to rape.
speaks to your, like, come on now. If,
That's
if
equivalent
that's
to rape
what
to
you
me.
have to do to get women, then
You corny, bro.
Exactly.
Now, how do you
Super
feel about the
corny.
women who? Because the women who got the parts, it makes you think like,
Did you get it because you was
was
good?
they
or
throwing
was it
something,
because you
or
was
like,
good? You
They're,
know?
they're both y'all corny.
Nah,
Exactly.
But actually, chill.
But this happens all the
Angelina
time,
Jolie's
you know?
a beast in everything she plays in.
But she's still corny if she went through that.
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
corny.
you
Probably
can't
did.
say that. You can't say
What do
that.
you mean?
Because when she got
If
the
you
part,
had to do that,
but there would be
Don't say
no.
that.
We wouldn't be talking about Angelina Jolie if
Listen,
she
there
didn't
would be
throw.
somebody else.
but
outside.
hold on, chill though, because like when she got the part, even though she had to, do that to get the
Wait,
part.
how do y'all making the assumption that she did have to?
We,
do
I know,
yeah,
I'm
that's
just
what I'm
saying,
saying.
I'm
I'm
just saying.
assuming.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
just saying.
assume it would
This
be
is all
an assumption,
speculation
but
here.
I would assume.
But
that
what I'm
that's-
saying is, if somebody did do that to get the part, when they did the part, they killed the part. You feel me? It's a difference between bad acting and good acting. She's still a great actor.
But if
feel
you were
me?
good, you wouldn't even have to do that in the first
Exactly.
place. If you were so
Because
good,
there's
No,
That's
that's
not
not
true.
true. If
Because
he's
he's
standing in the
saying-
way of you having the opportunity to
He's
do what you
saying
want to
you
do.
want this,
So-
you want this part.
so is
You
he
wanna go
saying?
for it.
Is
How
he
bad you want
saying?
it?
I'd be like, well,
Is he saying
find somebody.
do this or you won't get the part, or is he saying if you do this then you will get the part? Because there's a difference. If you
Word.
there's a difference. If
He
you
right
say
there.
if he's telling them okay, if unless you do this for me, unless you have sex
I
with
don't
me, then
think
you
he
won't get the
makes it
part.
so black and white. I think it's
Then-
more of like,
So how
You
bad?
wanna-
like
he's
hand
just
on
throwing
me.
How bad you want it?
Yeah.
How bad you want
He's
it?
just throwing it out there like
We got a lot of
Throwing
good people who did auditions today.
yeah,
We got Angelina Jolie, we got Brad Pitt, we got Rihanna.
And he
Try
rubbing
to-
the shoulders.
Yeah, you gotta show me.
This is not funny. This is serious.
Nah,
out
it's
there.
really, I feel like it,
But no,
it,
rape and sexual
diminishes.
harassment is never cool.
Or like, who has the
on any
power?
level.
Do women have the power? Because
Yeah, you don't know who's throwing the power.
To be honest, I was talking to this guy, and at that same thing, the race thing, he was a rapper. He's been in the industry. He actually said it. He said, "Yo, you'd be surprised how much sexual harassment happens to women in the industry."
Of course.
And then, because didn't Terry Crews just come out the other day?
You should be finished.
Okay, but you into
And
it
then he
all the
said,
time.
and then he said,
He's showing off.
it's even worse. It's even worse with men in the industry. You'd be surprised.
Word?
Yeah. He said, you'd be surprised.
And back to you about Terry Crews.
Now, what happened with Terry Crews?
He just recently, I saw it on the Shade Room.
Talking about with Kevin Spacey.
I don't know with who. I just know that he felt like he was touched inappropriately, so he filed a police report. But the
All
city.
those muscles.
Right?
Hey,
So
man.
what?
Like,
But
come
he
on
can
now.
still be touching.
Yeah, he can still be
Like,
touching
he should've just-
appropriately.
All those muscles.
Come on.
Oh boy.
I'm saying this.
You
If
know,
I
so
don't
in that
ask
right
permission
mind is
to
gonna-
touch you
Bro, I'm saying I'm a grown
in your
man.
privacies,
You a grown
No,
man,
but
so
what
why do you?
I'm a grown man, but all these muscles,
So,
you
see,
touching
this
me
is why
like,
there's
Who
issues.
in that
That's
right
the
mind would
problem,
touch
bro.
Terry Crews like that? Out of all people,
Hey,
Terry
some
Crews
people
is
don't
like,
think you got muscles.
because usually
Well, he's like a
he's
gentle
always
giant.
with his shirt off. So
Exactly.
I'm assuming he's over sexualized. He
true,
is, you
true.
know.
Yeah, he is.
So
you ever
you-
see them Old Spice commercials?
Bruh.
that
You
old
go to
Spice.
jail. You go to jail. They don't care how much muscles you got, bro. They'll still take you in.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
You ain't lying.
what
I
muscles
was
got to
about
do
to survive
with
in
it?
jail.
You still get owned, bro.
The food
And
is
it'll be
bad.
by the smallest person.
Exactly.
You went from Kevin Spacey
And they
to
like
jail.
when you fight
What are
back.
you I'm trying to prove my point with what you're talking about. You saying all these muscles, and I'm trying to tell you.
You know what Kevin Spacey is?
What are you trying to
That
say
name
though
sounds
with
familiar.
all
I
these
don't even-
muscles?
Yeah, what are you trying to say?
I
with
wanna
all these
know what
muscles?
you're trying to say.
I'm asking, is it about the Kevin Spacey? You
I'm
said all
saying-
these muscles.
What
I'm
about these
saying-
muscles?
All the same thing I said about what's that movie about the Johnsons?
The Johnsons. What movie?
Oh,
Can't
I
remember what I'm
know.
talking about. I'm
The
saying
guy
you were
whose son was
grown.
raping him.
His-
The
yeah,
son
his
was
son-
raping his
Oh,
father.
okay, okay.
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That movie that everybody was
Social
watching for.
media,
Like,
like,
it was on
exploded.
YouTube. Yeah.
yeah, so
I
I'm
know
like,
what you're talking about.
how like did he
That was-
ask
It doesn't
you?
matter
Did
how
he just
the
walk
point
up
is-
and then grab it? Like what happened? Like
It doesn't matter how. The point is it happened. You know. So
True.
like
You can't.
you can't. Excuse me. You can't make comments like, "Oh, all these muscles," because now you're shaming the victim.
Yeah,
How am I
you
shaming
you
him?
are
Victim
shaming him.
shaming.
You saying,
How am I
oh, you're
victim
big.
shaming?
You're
You're
basically
making it
saying
seem-
because you big, you should be able to
It's just as
defend
bad
yourself.
as saying
true.
a
That's
woman,
not
"Oh, what was
necessarily
she
true.
wearing?"
Right.
You know.
What I'm saying
I
is-
disagree with that.
Why?
I disagree with that.
Wait, no. Let me hear. Let me hear what
Gene
this
said-
person
What did I,
say.
wait, hold on. What did I say?
Gene said this Kevin Spacey thing, and I picture Kevin Spacey. Isn't Kevin Spacey my dude from House of Cards?
Yes, he's in the because he's in the
Yeah, he
mix
lost
of
me,
that,
'cause
bro.
Kevin
All
Spacey.
All right, because y'all haven't heard of it.
Wait,
Maybe
wait.
if y'all listen on the news, he's being filed for that too. That's when all that came up.
Ibrahim.
Wait 1 second. She said something about that would be the same as
Blaming a woman
blaming-
for getting raped because of what she had on.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
That's
because-
completely different.
Hold on, hold
No.
on. Go ahead.
Because let's say there are two women. One woman walks outside with just barely dressed, just has on not too many clothes, and there's another woman who walks outside just fully clothed. Which one of them is more susceptible to being
Both.
Whoever got the
Both,
fatter
both,
butt.
they're-
Both.
You believe that they're
Both.
equally susceptible
Yes.
to
Both.
A rapist
You
is gonna
honestly
rape
believe that?
regardless.
Both.
Bro,
You're correct.
Bro,
but look,
bro, I'm
First
gonna
of
right
all,
here.
Explain women in countries who be covered head
Bro.
to toe, only that
Yeah,
I show, they
yeah,
still get
yeah,
raped.
my God.
but
Yeah, my God.
the
Gabrielle Union said she was raped, and when she was raped, know what she was wearing?
what she
A
wearing?
long behind shirt.
No, you're right. You're
Some
right. There
like-
are always exceptions to the rule, but the
There's-
thing
it's not
the
about-
point that I'm trying to make is that if you expose yourself and you sexualize yourself, then men, when they see that, they will sexualize you as well.
But do you know rape
I mean,
isn't
that's kinda
based on
true.
sexualization?
He's
It's
actually right.
sexualization. Rape is something where you just want
But
the
why
power.
are men
So
always
technically, a
sexualized?
rapist
Not
will try
always.
and pick
Not
a
always.
woman
Alright.
who's not dressed, who is fully dressed to rape because in his head he
Yeah.
has more power
Now-
over her,
now-
You're
over
correct.
a woman
Let me
who's
ask
more
you this.
sexually
I feel like it's
liberal.
always
Let me
it's
ask you
always
this.
anecdotal. It depends on the person. The person that's
What
doing
kind of rape they like? It's not funny because
No,
you
that's
sound
not- it's
crazy.
Wait, let me
No, but
let me ask you. Why are men always sexualizing women?
men aren't
Whoa,
always
whoa.
sexualizing women.
Men aren't
I
always
don't believe
sexualizing women, bro.
Men aren't always sexualizing women.
But yeah,
Most of
remember,
the time?
don't put it on men.
Most
'cause
of the time.
it's an equal balance.
But
thing
all I'm
here.
saying is you
Most
open.
of the time, men are sexualizing women.
All I'm saying is sometimes you open the door for them to walk in, and sometimes.
So
I could be butt naked. It doesn't mean I want to be raped.
Of course not. But you don't want to re-rape. But if you're sitting here butt naked and someone sees you, they're gonna see you in a
Yeah,
different
but that
way.
doesn't
So
mean
what
okay.
about
If,
so-
no,
alright, so
listen to
where's
me.
the
If I'm butt
self-control then?
naked Does that
No,
mean you want to
you're
rape
right.
me?
No, I'm not justifying it whatsoever. I'm not justifying.
But I'm saying, just like you wouldn't try and rape me because I'm butt naked, is the same reason why that other man or woman shouldn't rape another person because they're naked or not naked. Because you wouldn't act on those
desires. Yeah, you're
exactly.
right. But
when I say this, I'm gonna share that quick. I hate rapists. Like I hate rapists. Like with
it's never okay.
I got like a
But I'm just saying you can't be
serious.
thinking
I got a
like that.
serious hate for them. Like don't let me tell me my son raped a female. He will die that day.
right, let's use Instagram, right? Let's use Instagram. Let's say a girl on Instagram, all she got all down her TL is just her wearing bikinis and stuff. And then there's another girl who dresses a lot more modestly. Which one you gonna hop in their DMs? Which one?
Okay, both.
But that's not.
I'm gonna hop in
let's
both
be
of them
completely
DMs.
honest.
You
So
feel
should
me?
I assume if you walk around with your pants down, you got these skinny jeans on, you a thug,
she
and I should
coming
be
from
scared of
you.
you? That's what I should assume
No.
then.
Yeah, well, that's subconscious.
Wait, what you just said?
That's subconscious.
I'm
She
saying
said
your
if you
underwear
walk around with your
showing
underwear showing,
and this, that.
let's say you got
So
a lot of
that's
tats and stuff,
subconscious, just like-
subconsciously you're thinking, okay, he's a thug, but that might not necessarily be true.
Just like subconsciously, you're thinking she wants to get raped.
And that's not true.
no,
we're
no
not
one
saying-
ever thinks
we're
that.
not saying
No
she
one
wants
ever
to get
thinks that
raped.
someone wants to get
Oh
raped.
yeah, that's
He's
the way.
saying-
No, but that's
he's saying-
that's what I'm trying to say. As stupid as that sounds, is kind of what you're saying right
No,
now.
I'm not
No,
saying
it's
the same
not.
thing.
Because
I'm not
I get what he's
justifying.
saying.
I'm not justifying the rapist. The only point I'm trying to make is if you sexualize yourself
Other
and
people
you
sexualize
expose
you.
yourself, other people
But
who
we're
look
not
at you
talking
will
about
will sexualize
sexualizing and
yourself
having
as well.
consensual sex. We're talking about rape.
Rape is about sex.
No, it's not. Rape
Rape-
is about power.
Rape
It's
is
not about
rape
sex.
It's
is
about
not.
power.
Rape is about power.
It's
Yes.
about power.
Okay,
Most
so
men who
if it's
rape-
about power,
You
then
rape-
why
We're
why
not
is
talking
rape?
about girls who's gonna get tossed around. We're talking about women who are being raped.
Okay, so you believe that rape is all about power.
Yes.
It is.
So if it's all about power, why is sex
Do
involved?
you, let me
Because
hold
there
on,
are other
wait,
ways
wait,
for
hold
you-
on.
there are other ways for
Do
you
you
to
know
express
why?
power without
Do you
sex.
know why? Do you know why rape is power? Because after they've been raped, you can do anything you want to them and they'll listen. There's over.
Is that true?
That's actually, but most
Yes.
men, if you,
you
honestly,
have control over
it's
it.
something
Psychological.
Yes, they want to be dominant. Most rapists, and I'm talking about all rapists.
Is it?
It's the thing about dominancy. They have this dominance over the person, and they can do whatever they want, even though the person is rejected.
Well, I don't think you can't make generalizations.
That's
not a
all
generalization,
bro.
Bro, you a psych-
all. That's
Scientifically
Bro,
generalization.
you're a psych major. You gonna learn this
You-
in psych.
Yeah.
You should know this.
Bro,
You know how to see
I should
now.
learn soon.
You in
Yeah,
high
I'm on a
school.
hot seat. I don't care.
Wait, what year are you?
I'm a sophomore.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's probably why
yeah.
you gonna get into
Yeah.
it this year.
Okay, yeah, y'all.
You gonna
I'm telling
hit
you,
time
it's
back
about
like,
dominance.
oh, I just learned about
you
this.
ever watch Criminal
Right.
Minds?
Nah, I don't watch. I don't.
Yeah, watch Criminal Minds. Read.
But I get what
Read
you're
and
saying.
teach
Like I
yourself.
mentioned on the show before, because I know this world is crazy. I wouldn't have my daughter
Out
on the
wearing
beach
some-
in a bikini because
Yeah.
I know that men are. But the thing is, the
Agreed.
same man I'm trying to protect her from, if he wants to molest my daughter, he's gonna try and molest my daughter.
That's true.
And it's
anyway.
about
Well,
power.
You know.
we can agree to disagree, but at the same time, the moral of the story is all rapists. It don't matter whether you whatever the woman wears. At the end of the
Or
day,
man wears.
rape or sexual, or man, because it happens both ways. But rape is bad either way.
Rape is bad.
He wanted it.
Let's put this in
At the end of the day, that's
Oh.
that's the moral of the story.
Wait, let me ask you this. Now, you're a psychology major at St. Peter's. When you
Yes, sir.
when you think of psychology, what comes to mind?
When I think of psychology,
Yeah.
first thing that comes to mind is you think about someone sitting in a chair and someone in front of them sitting on a couch and talking about their problems. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Why is
So
it?
the
Why
first
is
thing that
that?
comes to mind is therapy.
Because that's the thing. That's the
Generic.
the generic media, idea
Yeah.
of psychology.
And
But that's not why I like psychology.
why do you?
I like psychology because I feel that first of all, there's not a lot of people of color that are in that field, and that's why I want to join that field. And another thing is people of color as well. We need psychology because a lot of us have mental problems that you wouldn't want to go to someone of another race to get justified. You feel me? So
Facts.
That's
Yeah.
facts.
So that's why I like psychology. So I don't know exactly what I want to do when I graduate or in that field, but I just know I want to do something in that realm. So yeah.
Mention how the colored people do need the mental health help and everything like that. So today we're going to be talking about the relationship between physical, mental, and spiritual health.
Okay.
And how it relates to holistic health. This was Side brought this up. So I'm gonna go around. We're gonna share.
You know you gotta do me last, shorty.
Can you tell
That's your
me
shorty?
between
Y'all all my shorties.
Which
Well,
one's the
that's
most important?
yeah, which one?
Oh.
How do you rank the three?
Okay.
Spiritual, mental, and physical health.
Spiritual.
Spiritual, mental, physical. I feel like they all like go hand in hand.
They do.
You know, like if one's off, something's gonna be off about the other. Like
They're like
it's
pillars, right?
Yeah, they
If
all
one of
gotta
them
be.
fall, then yeah.
Especially, I feel like especially like your spiritual health because I feel like that affects your physical, your mental fix. Oh, they all affect each other.
So,
there you go.
so you would put spiritual first?
No, I would put all of them on the
So
same.
you think they're all on the same level?
Alright, so Kenny
I think
thinks they're all on the same.
But then
level.
again, like if my arm, never mind.
Nah, go ahead.
Nah.
Go ahead.
That's it though.
What would you about to
Well,
say
you
about
ain't
your
saying my
arm?
arm
We're
is
not
broke, then
going-
that doesn't
we're
mean
not
I'm
going-
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like if
Mental.
I'm dead, like whole dead, my whole body's dead. Like I'm not worried about my mental health
True.
if my
But-
whole body's dead. But the thing is, before my whole body's dead, there's all this other stuff that goes through. So I was just not gonna say that all. So
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I think spiritual, mental. I think spiritual is definitely first by a long shot, and then mental, and then physical. Because spiritual is definitely has to be number first. Because usually when you speak about spiritual, people usually tie that in with religion, and so when you think about it, your spirit, even though your body might die, your spirit still lives on forever. So
That's facts.
your spiritual health has to be is the most important. Yeah, it has to be A1.
Go ahead, G. Yes, go ahead.
come on,
Well,
Shay.
I put spiritual health first because
Word.
I do believe you need some form of spirituality. It has nothing to do with religion, like Ibby said, but
nothing to do with
spiritual health is about how you practice what we was talking about last week. Your morals, your values, how you stand up for yourself,
Are
and
you
how
happy?
you carry. Yeah, it's how do you carry yourself, and how do you go about things towards other people. So it's like, are you able to how do I say this? Are you able to stand your ground in arguments?
I ain't gonna hold you. You just eliminated the word religion, but then describe religion. I'm just
You
Yeah.
right. Because
It's-
morals,
when you said
values,
that-
all that comes from religion.
All
It comes
that
from
I-
religion, but you can still have that
I
without.
was-
no, I'm saying you
I
can
don't-
have that without
Yeah.
religion.
I always think about my life like I'm most happy spiritually and inside me when I feel like my relationship with God is good.
The healthy,
So I always
exactly.
wonder like how people who haven't been privy to being exposed to a higher power or whatever it is. Like I always like everything I describe. I'm like I serve a God that says, as far as my eyes can see, it belongs to me. Like that is empowering, you know. So I can never. I always feel bad for people who aren't privy to that, you know.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, I put mental health second,
Yeah,
but it can alter with physical health.
yeah.
But most of the time it'll be second because in order to have your physical health good, your mental health has to be pretty good as well. Because remember, let's say you want to get physically in shape, you got to think about it first.
You gotta be.
Yeah, I'm reading a book
You
about
gotta
exercise.
think about it. Like your body
Yeah.
doesn't say,
Yeah.
"Hey, get up and go." You're gonna think about it. first.
Mental controls the physical anyway.
That- exactly.
Yeah.
So I'll put spirituality, mentality, and then your physicality in that order. But every now and then, your physical health does play a role into your mental health once it's depending on where it's at. So if you're physically not there, sometimes it'll mess up your mental, especially if you don't think that you're physically. Like, let's say you might be gaining weight or you're losing weight. That's gonna mess up your mental as well.
Exactly.
But go ahead, Saad.
I wouldn't say one of the three is more important than the other. I'll say if I had to like rationalize it and put it in a ratio, I'll put mental health to be 25%,
Okay.
physical health to be 25%, and spiritual health to be 50%.
So it's like what I said.
Nah,
It's
you
kinda-
know,
it's
y'all all,
similar.
basically y'all all said the same
But
thing.
no, you just said I wouldn't put one over the other, but then you
And
just
then put
said,
one. I didn't
I know I ain't
say it,
tripping.
Nah, think like this. Think like this.
50%.
Because spiritual health, it affects both your physical and your mental.
That's what I. Yeah.
So I said they're all equally important.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say my physical health doesn't matter. Neither does my mental.
Right.
My
Yeah.
spiritual does.
Yeah,
though.
it's a
You
balance
feel
of
me?
power.
Yeah,
I feel
they're
what
all
you're saying.
I'll say they all equally important. Like if when I work out, I don't just work on my physical body. I work on my spiritual body and my mental body. So I remember I had to do martial arts one time,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't do push-ups. You know what we did? we held the push-up position
No, I hate that.
and counted to 100. Now, you think, oh, he's not doing push-ups, so what is that doing? First, you gotta hold yourself up. Then you count to 100. Now, you realize when you count to 100, your body's getting real hot. You gotta maintain that. That's your spiritual body. And then to hold yourself up, to say, keep going, don't drop,
That's mental, yeah.
that's your mental body. You know, to withstand that heat is spiritual, because that heat is crazy.
Mind over matter, yeah.
Word.
I feel what you're saying.
That's good.
I wouldn't say one's more important than the other, though.
Yeah, let me go back to what you said, though. You said something about, spiritual health has nothing to do with religion.
Did you mean traditional religion? Like,
Yeah, like traditional religion.
go to church.
Yeah,
go to
like
this.
that has nothing to do with this. So when I say, people, because people like, how people go to church you can have somebody who goes to church every day,
every
but
Saturday,
every Saturday
Tuesday,
or every Tuesday, whatever it is,
Thursday.
and then they might they might even read the Bible every day. They might even pray every day.
Yeah, that's true.
But yet
It just
they are
becomes a
still.
routine.
It just becomes a routine, but they're still not connected to their
Yeah,
spirituality
spiritually.
and God. Now, I always stress this to myself, and I always try to tell it to people. What you're reading in the Bible, what you're praying about, and what you're going to church for, you need to know how to apply that to your life.
Yeah.
How do you go? Like if you go to church and they tell you, yo, make sure you guys are forgiving of people and stuff, and you only tell people and you pray to be you asking God to forgive, but then you go out into the world and you don't want to forgive people.
Exactly.
So what's the whole point of going to church and you reading the Bible and if you're not, practicing and you're not applying, what you going to church and reading the Bible and praying for?
Same thing with Muslims.
So that means so your spirituality right there is broken.
Exactly.
And if your spirituality is broken, now your mentality has broken.
That's facts.
Mhm.
And then sooner or later, your body gonna be broken
Your
because
body-
of that.
And you
Exactly.
breaking people around.
And you breaking the people around you. That's for real. Yo. So that's why I mean, like your spirit, and that's why I say it doesn't relate to religion, because religion is just a routine. Somebody can I go to church, but I don't think of it as something that I need to do all the time. I'm starting to take breaks, because I feel like once I feel like I'm in a routine too much, it's like I need to chill. I need to chill sometimes. But the spirituality part just really comes from when you're doing all of those things. You got to think about what's going on in your life to how you can apply those. Because sometimes you read some things and you can't relate to it yet, because you haven't reached those type of scenarios. You haven't reached those type of
got experience in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you've gone through those things, that's why I always read things that I've been through. I look for chapters. I read I don't mind reading the Quran and the Bible at the same time. Like you tell some Christians that, they be like, why are you doing that? Or even some Muslims, they probably might have a problem if you're reading the Bible.
Yeah, definitely.
True.
Yeah, but why not? I've always heard.
It's always like this. Are you reading the Bible just to read it?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta read it for a reason.
Are you reading it to understand what it's saying?
Yep.
Or are you reading it to find comparison between the Bible and the Quran? Because the Quran, and you read it, the Quran is on a completely different level.
Very different. Yeah.
Yo, the Quran is
very
different. And they
yo.
said in Islam is the completion of the three Abrahamic religions.
You gotta take your time.
So inside of the Quran is everything that's in the gospel, everything that's in the Torah, and the added portion of the Quran.
Wow.
Exactly.
So it's all three books put into one.
Yeah, exactly.
And then not only that, it explains a lot. It explains things Prophet Muhammad couldn't have possibly known.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It explains semen in the Quran. He couldn't have known that. Prophet Muhammad was illiterate. He didn't know how to read.
Yeah, you can read.
Nor write.
Mhm.
So how does he know this? It's impossible.
Yeah, and you have to, when you're reading a book like the Bible or the Quran, you have to read it with the mentality that you want to learn. You actually want to learn what's in it, because that's the same thing that a lot of people do when they're debating or arguing. Sometimes people go to a debate or an argument just trying to prove their point and not trying to actually hear what the other person has to say.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing. You have to use that same mentality when you're reading books like that. You have to read it. You have to actually genuinely want to know what it says, and you have to see the different perspective other than your own perspective.
Exactly.
And be open-minded.
Yeah.
Exactly. You gotta be very open-minded.
When I read now, it's not to try to finish the book.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
take my time.
Not just trying to finish.
I read I'm reading like 4 at a time, but I rotate. It's like
Yeah.
like I rotate. It's like today I'll read the New Jim Crow. Tomorrow I'm reading a
New
book.
Jim Crow. Yeah, I gotta read that.
It's a good book.
Yeah,
There's
I
an
gotta get
Audible
that.
on YouTube in
Right.
case
Yeah.
you just forget to listen.
So it's the New Jim Crow. There's this book called Emotional Intelligence. So it teaches you how to understand people's mindsets through different situations. So it's like
What's my mindset?
right now you're at a radio station and you're doing a talk show with me and you're cool. Like you seem level-headed. Like you're not.
Is that
you
accurate?
don't seem upset. You don't seem. You're good. But it teaches you how to.
But you know, Kimmy can snap at any
Yeah,
time.
exactly. So I'm prepared. I know that, but the book teaches you how to. It teaches you how to like. It's good for the workplace if you work in customer service.
Mhm.
So it's like.
And you're when you work with different
Relationships
levels of different
exactly.
type of people.
So it'll tell you always let the person put out their emotions, but don't match it. So if they're yelling at you and all that, you be like, okay,
Ma'am?
I understand everything.
That's
Don't get
another
anything
thing
on you.
that I really want to talk about.
What?
How other people's emotions affect other people.
Or how people let it affect other people.
Because that's a main aspect of spiritual health, your emotions.
Yeah.
Emotions.
Not just
that's-
your
I think
emotions,
that's
being
more
able to
mental.
control it.
Control
Like,
it.
you don't want to
Yeah.
ever, if you got upset later on, you're like, damn, why did I
Why
let
did
that?
I do that?
You
Why
want
did
to
I
be
let
okay
that
if you
control?
got
I can raise
upset,
my
it's
hand, I
because
went
you
through
wanted to.
that.
It
Yeah.
wasn't because someone provoked it. See, my baby brother, he know how to, he just be mad, so I'd be provoking him. Like,
Your baby brother. Your baby brother just
Yeah.
be mad, so you just be provoked.
I just, because when he gets on my nerves, like, I'll just do little things I know that will make him mad, and I keep trying to teach him. I'm like, you gotta learn, because when you go out, and I'm like, do you act like this in public? Because people are gonna look for little things to me. The same way I'm trying to manipulate your emotions, someone else is
People
gonna do
gonna do
that.
that.
You might as well
And
train
he
them at
gets
home.
very angry.
Yeah,
That's
train
why I
them
do
at
that to
home.
him.
So when
I
you
don't
go
do it
out-
like on some, mommy, look what he did. I do it on some, like, later on, I'll be like, Toby, do you see how I did? He's like, yeah, I didn't even know you were doing that. I'm like, yeah, don't do that. Like, but he doesn't get it ever. Like, he still gets
Yeah,
mad.
it's
Like,
like people trying to get underneath your skin. If you can control that, bro, you want another.
that's
level.
why I play that.
You
I
want
play
another
that
level.
game really what I
Yeah,
like.
but anger
People
is
think
just
they
one
doing
emotion.
stuff,
Is one.
But you
Imagine
All
that
kinds of
depression.
emotions, you gotta.
Oh yeah.
The depression is the
That-
worst
that's
for me
just-
because depression is like a sickness.
Yeah.
Imagine
Depression.
Imagine you grew up in a
physically,
house,
like,
right, and both of your parents are low key depressed. I'm not saying high key depressed; they're low key
Low-key.
depressed.
functioning
Yeah.
depressed.
You gonna
depressed
feel it.
people.
Yeah, you're gonna feel it, and then after you're gonna grow up being depressed, not knowing why you feel that way you feel, because
Because
It's
it's, a spirit.
contagious. It's
a
contagious.
spirit.
yeah,
Or
Exactly.
my people would say it's a demon.
Exactly.
Nah,
Yeah,
you could call it a
fine.
demon.
It's a
Happiness is the
spirit,
same
yeah.
way.
the
Happiness is
the
contagious.
word demon is just a negative connotation towards your spirit.
Yeah.
So
It's a
yeah.
bad spirit. Just like one person could come into a room with, like, someone could walk into this room and have, like, the nastiest attitude, nastiest spirit, because they
Yeah.
picked up that spirit or they allowed that spirit to enter them. And it could be contagious
Now it's
if you're not
contagious.
strong
we all
enough
feel the
to.
same way.
Yeah, if you're not,
Exactly.
yeah, that happens all the time.
When I first started my job, like people, I don't know how you work in Newark. It's easy if you know how to backfire all of that negativity. So yesterday, this lady came in and she threw her debit card at me, and like she's like, "Give me the account number and a routing number." I said, "All right, cool." So usually, like, first of all, some people like, first of all, don't throw that at me. That would have
Yeah.
started it.
That-
that right there.
So I was like, all right, can you
You
just give me your
admitted
zip
to
code?
world.
Uh-huh.
And she yelled the zip code at me, and then I was like, all right, what's your can you verify the address? She said, look, man, it's da da da. I was
Yeah.
like, well, what you gave me isn't what's on this. I'm talking to her just like that. She said, look, I don't know, but I'm telling you that. I'm just telling you the one you gave me is not what's on the account.
Dang.
So she's going off. My coworker's like, oh, this is Coke such and such. I'm like, why you call it? Because she does Coke. I was like,
Wow.
whoa. And then there's like my manager came. She's like, yo, chill. She's like, I just need, like, I know, but you're going off on him for no reason. He's trying to get the address, and she's like, I'm sorry. If I don't know you, I do that. I said, don't bother me.
If
My
I
head
don't
was
know
like,
you, I do that.
yeah.
She's wild.
I was like, don't bother me. What's my head? I get paid tomorrow. I don't care. You mad, like, and that's the thing, like, all that I went through, 18 years old, 19 years in the trenches, people yelling at me, growth, bruh. And people, yo, why?
Trenches.
Trenches as in like the hood,
Okay.
You feel
Of London?
That's not what I think the
Elizabeth,
trenches to be.
downtown Elizabeth.
She tried to come.
Now you in Newark. You in the pit of
I'm just
Newark.
saying, that's not what I think the trenches to be.
Trenches.
I think
That's
of
the
like
trenches.
Compton.
like
That's the trap.
definitely the
That's the
trenches.
trap. You feel me?
You all right? I'm sorry, Saj, for
Somerset.
using it. Yeah, but look,
I'm sorry, you from Linden, Gene.
I'm from Linden, but I've experienced some very
No, I
yeah, but look, if you can go through like,
and you
going
would have
through
been mad you let a cokehead make you mad.
like I don't.
I ain't gonna hold
care,
you. And when I was doing retail, and people used to go off with me for like stupid stuff. Like I did AT&T. I used to hate when people came in mad at AT&T and yelled at me.
Yeah, like you did it.
What did I didn't even say who this phone. They just come in wilding. Why is my phone not working?
Cause you ain't paying.
Hold on, but they be dumb though. Like, they be like, why is my phone not working? Cause you got airplane mode on.
They drove all the way
Because
there.
you know they old.
They be young. They be like in their 20s and their
Yeah,
30s.
I used to hate
They be
that.
going
30s, but that's
off.
still another like
No
generation.
man, the iPhone been out for about 12
The iPhone been out for a
years.
while.
I'm just saying, like, why are you coming wild to look stupid? And in my head, I used to have a smile on my face, like don't know calmly and
Yeah.
physically, but mentally, I'm like,
Yeah,
yo,
you like, who
she
you
about
talking to?
But you know,
she about 2 seconds from the head clap. You're.
but you know that I use that now. Like when I had an issue, I called my bank because I made charges.
Yeah.
But like I would check the balance. I guess the merchants didn't take the money yet,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I never checked the details of it because like I don't really do that unless I'm trying to make sure everything's okay. So like I'm like I understand that I don't have overdraft protection. I purposely didn't want it because I don't want to overspend. And I understand this is not your fault. This is not your policy. This is just your policy. Can I speak to super? Oh ma'am, he's gonna say the same thing to you. I'm like, it's okay. Can I please speak to him? Spoke to Mr. Juan Rodriguez, whatever his name was, and he helped me out.
Shout out to
And he
Juan Rodriguez.
from Wells Fargo. Okay, shout out
Wells
to him.
Fargo always hooking
I have
somebody
Wells
up.
Fargo.
Because they always be on some. And I'm like, but you have to understand this is not what I wanted, and it didn't reflect. If that's the case, you guys need to fix your system, He was like, I'll take that consideration, but we're gonna read this. Because, like, if I was all rah, who's gonna want to help me? Like, I need something from you, so I need to talk to you nice. Like,
Exactly.
I hate when people don't know how to, I don't know how to say it. Like, you gotta, like, when I used to, like, get into drama and stuff, like, I'm gonna act like everything you're doing doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Because if I give you that satisfaction, you're gonna think you won. And in my head, I feel like I won if you think it's not bothering me. I might go cry in my room, but to your face, I'll be like, hey girl, and you gonna be like, and then now you look crazy because you in public acting a fool and I'm acting regular. Like,
And I hate when they go
I'm
off
about
on
to
the
go to
wrong
Google
person.
page.
Like,
Go ahead.
I hate when they go off on the wrong person. Like, I remember I used to work at Old Navy, and I used to hate it. Oh my god.
I would hate folding.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
they used to have me in the baby section too, so I was folding a bunch of these tedious, little behind clothes. Like, but yeah, so they'll walk in there and they'll say something like, "Oh, why y'all clothes so expensive?" And mind you, Old Navy is not expensive at all.
Yeah, at all.
They'll walk in and say, "Oh, why so expensive here?" Okay, first of all, I don't make the prices here. Like, all I do is fold clothes in here. You can ask me what you want, I can get it for you. Like, because come on now, I don't make.
Bro, you should have been like,
prices.
why you in the store?
Take that to
you can't
management,
afford?
like
That's why I'm
exactly. Right.
Bro.
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
How does a person as an individual know at one point does something that they're dealing with fall in the line of mental health, and at one point does it fall into the line of spiritual health?
What do you mean?
Can I answer that? Can I go
You
first?
gotta read.
Yeah, can I go first?
Go ahead.
I think when you realize that, so you're saying how do they know it's a mental health issue?
Yeah, how do you know something is
spiritual?
a mental health issue or a spiritual health issue?
I think when you can spot the problem
Mhm.
and you say, all right, I have I have a mental issue,
Mhm.
and you'll say I have this mental issue because I'm spiritually disconnected.
Well,
So
Can I say
And-
something?
mhm.
You gotta evaluate yourself. It's anecdotal. It all depends on the person.
I would say if you're
the situation.
schizophrenic or you have some type of mental like OD, there's different levels to
Yeah.
mental
Mhm.
illness,
Mhm.
like something very, 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 very severe or severe version of. For example, when I say my brother's autistic, people are like, oh, I know autistic people are fine, but he's not functioning autistic. Like you gotta feed him, change his diaper, like
Right.
that kind of thing. When people, so there's different levels to different illnesses. So if you not here, you probably don't really know you're not here when it comes to that level.
Yeah.
But when it comes to spirituality and other things, if you don't expose yourself or even not even just expose yourself, because some people can't expose themselves. If you're not exposed to certain things, or you're not looking for certain things in general, it's not going to be given to you. Like, things I've learned is because I saw a post and I looked into it and researched it, or I questioned something. But there's people in this world who lack thinking critically. They take everything as is, or they take everything as is and say, no, it's not true. They don't ever question anything to research on their own. Why are your hands so clammy?
My thing is, I do believe in God, but you know how God has
given
you... Hold on, can I finish?
Go ahead.
You know how God gives you the ability to question?
Yeah, free will.
Yeah. Free will, that's what it is.
My always question, like, what is out there? Like, what, like, I always say, like, is this planet Earth cannot be the only
thing.
There's
aliens.
And I'm trying to tell people, I'm like, yo, y'all really think... And I also think if you ask him and you work for it,
if you ask
he will
God
show
to,
you.
just like when people say God is real, ask him to reveal himself to you.
Like I said,
Moses asked God to reveal himself, and what, y'all know what happened.
know what happened.
Yeah.
But I believe in spirits only because I'm Muslim.
Spirit, you mean like a soul?
No, not just. I mean like a jinn.
Oh yeah.
What do you call it?
Jinn.
That's another word for like a devil.
You want to hear? No, it's not. No, it's not.
A devil.
No, it's not.
A jinn.
No, it's not. Shaitan is a devil.
That's Shaitan.
Shayateen, yeah, but
Shayateen is the following.
Is the evil jinn.
My guy.
Look, let me teach you something.
Shayateen are the followings of the Shaitan.
Teach us.
Look. Jinns are beings made of smokeless fire. There are three kinds of beings. There are humans.
Yes.
There are humans. There are angels, and there are jinn.
Three rational beings.
Yeah, you're rational. No. Angels aren't rational.
Yes, they are.
Angels don't have free will.
They don't have free will, but they're rational.
No, angels only follow what God tells
them to do.
Listen.
Yes,
angels can't.
The difference between, see? Remember I said, how do you know the line between mental and spiritual?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to teach you some Islam here.
Oh, boy.
Real quick while we're on the air. When God created Adam, the angels asked him, will you create a person who does evil? Will you create a person that does good? And God responded to them. He said, I know what you do not know.
You're right.
I know what you do not know. They're rational, but they can think.
But what does that have to do with... No.
Free will means the action to do whatever they want.
No. Exactly. And angels do not have that. Angels do not have the capacity to do what they want.
They could rebel against because Satan
rebelled. We might be
and he
that's where we're going. In the Bible, they say Satan was an angel.
Exactly.
In the Quran,
Satan is a jinn.
He's a jinn.
He's just a jinn.
He's a jinn. But he was in the heavens when Adam was created.
Yeah, he was amongst angels. He was a high-ranking. He was a jinn amongst angels.
Yeah, he was a jinn who was favored by God.
So then when he messed up, all the jinns was like,
no. See, that's what I'm saying.
See, the jinns weren't amongst the angels. It was just him because he was just very high-ranking. He was
that's what I'm
very
trying to tell. Even
pious. I'm gonna put that in quotations because he's like still a bad, but that he's not a fallen angel. Well, we don't believe that he was a fallen angel. We always believe
fallen jinn.
Well, he's
not even fallen jinn because
it's only two beings. It's only
we believe that jinns they're not all shayateen because shayateen means a jinn who is a devil basically. But
are there
however there are jinn.
Yes.
Okay.
However, there are jinn who still believe who are still like righteous, yeah. But it's not really people don't really associate jinn with being good.
I forgot.
Yeah. I'm Muslim, so I believe in spirits.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, people who have schizophrenia, right?
Mm-hmm.
They say they can see spirits.
Oh yeah.
Right? Why is Siri talking to me? What are you doing, sorry?
That's a spirit. That's a jinn.
Right?
That's a jinn right there.
They say they can see spirits. And certain people, they say they be hearing things. Now, I know...
I mean, but I'm not schizophrenic. I know when there's like...
stuff around.
I don't think you have to be schizophrenic to
but that's what I'm
I don't
saying.
think they see jinns. I think they're just crazy. Because it's haram for them. Haram means like unlawful for them by God. Prohibited. Yeah, it's haram for them to expose themselves to humans. Where they're in a place where they can see us and we can't see them. So if they do that, then it's punishable. So I don't think that
maybe they
people
just take the punishment.
Yeah, but I don't think that's exclusive to schizophrenic people.
No, I'm just
Because
saying.
they're schizophrenic. They're crazy.
That's what they say. They can see stuff like that.
Yeah.
What was I saying, bro? You keep throwing me off my
I'm correcting
my
you.
train.
I'm trying to get to where he's going, but
Yeah, I'm
I
trying to
keep
get where
going
you
off
going.
track.
That's what I'm saying.
My bad.
How can we?
You're Muslim. You believe?
You
I believe in
spirits?
spirits.
You
I
believe in
believe they're
spirits?
around. And actually, I feel like they can be seen because I'm gonna tell that story on the radio, but.
Tell it.
You really want to hear the story?
Yeah.
Nah,
It was me and my
Oh,
little
boy.
brother, right? My little brother Ayash.
Oh, I asked.
And we was at the match. We was out Hassuna. At the match, we was setting up for this winter. It was a winter formal that the girls was having.
Aw.
And we had to go open the back door for my boy
I
Muhammad,
already know where you're going with this.
right? And we about to run through the musalla. And mind you, it's half school, half masjid. We about to run through the musalla, so we turn on the lights in the hallway first, right? Now there's 3 doors. There's one over here, one in the middle, and one down here. We at the one in the middle, right? We open the door, right? The light was shining from mind you, it's pitch black in the masjid. It's nighttime. You can't see nothing. Now, the light from the door was like an outline, right? My shadow was right here. Ayasha's shadow was right here. And in between our shadow, it was this black figure. It was this black
What?
figure on the rug. I swear to God. I swear to God. It was a black figure on the rug. It was just sitting there, right? And it was like, it looked like it was praying. It was shadowy though. It was like, it wasn't like, see how my hands, like you see my hands like a form? Nah, picture my hand, it was like a cloud moving. It was black, right? And then it turned its head and looked at us. And we got low. Right? Now, we went all the way upstairs, and before I even said anything to anybody, I said, yo, Ayash, look me in my eyes and tell me what you just saw. Right? And I grabbed him. I was really serious and said, tell me what you just saw. He looked at me. He described, I swear to God, wallahi, for you, I swear to God, he explained to me exactly what I just explained to you. I never forgot that day. And I was in 8th grade. I wasn't no kid.
So Ayash was little then.
Ayash had to be like 9.
That's
8.
crazy.
And he explained it with the detail. And then just to make sure I wasn't going crazy, I gave him like 4 years, right? I was like
To
4
tell
years.
the story again.
I was like, yo, Ayash, remember that time he was at the master and we seen that thing in the Musalla? He was like, yeah, bro, I ain't never gonna forget that. He was like, yeah. I'm like, yo, that was crazy. That was the most craziest thing I ever seen with my own 2 eyes. That's what I'm
You ever
saying.
had
I
a
feel
lucid
like
dream?
I feel like dreams is like a spiritual. I feel like it's a spiritual thing,
Yeah.
not really a mental thing. But if you ask somebody, they say it's a mental thing.
Well, I don't know.
Because they don't know about
sometimes you have dreams about things that's been constantly on your mind. Like, you've been thinking about something.
But that's what I'm saying. Doesn't that also affect your spirit?
Your physical health. How does that require you to be a gym head, or does that require you just to take care of your body?
You need to have. You
No,
can't.
you
You're
don't
not
have to
supposed
be
to
a
have
gym
too
head.
much acid in your body.
You gotta be a gym head.
A lot of people.
Yeah, I'm asking for other people because when we say physical, people think, oh, I gotta go to the gym, work out, and
Or
all that.
mucus. You don't want mucus in your body. You know.
I mean,
Well, it's a lot of people that just
it's
eat right
two
and
types of
meditate and, like,
it's 2 types of physical exercise. You have internal physical exercise.
What do you mean?
Meditation.
Okay, say for like dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Dancing, yeah, you're moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it really helps your internal more than your external because
Yes, it does.
dancing is like
It's
you're not moving the weights. External
Yeah,
exercise is like you're lifting
Yeah.
or like it's really focused on tearing your muscles.
Yeah.
Whereas internal exercises is focused
Your
on your
heart.
blood movement and your just
Heart
the
rate.
movement, how
All
you're
that.
moving,
Yeah.
and
Like
that
Pilates.
strengthens your body. Like I feel like if you do internal exercises with a little bit of external, you have a nice little balance of it.
Word.
You be more healthy than the person who goes to the gym and lift weights all the time.
Hey,
That boy got
this
shot.
topic go for a lot
Spoiler
of
alert.
different.
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
Hey,
bro.
and
Like,
this
if
topic
you-
came to me.
If a police is not spiritually, mentally healthy,
He's wild.
he wild.
No, but you do
Yeah,
know
a lot-
processed meats and stuff be messing with your head.
Well, not-
Why
not
do you
only
think in the
that,
hood there's barely anywhere to get some fresh food?
Not only that,
Let me eat halal.
Oh yeah, you already got halal. But not only that, right?
I love that.
With like police officers, to keep them mentally, they gotta be sane because sometimes in some police departments they got them for a few years they on the street, and a few years they take them back, they put them in the office because you can't be on the street for so
All the
long because it
time,
messes
yeah.
with your head. You
Mhm.
and you
Or go
constantly
from-
in defense mode.
Or go
You know
from
what I'm
like
saying?
some high, like maybe you left a domestic violence thing,
Exactly,
and now you're getting
exactly.
called because there's a mysterious boy walking around. Now you've come from something from here, and you're going to something that's like this, and
Yeah.
you still gonna be here. That's why things happen to people.
That's why they get
People
bored.
die.
Now, I don't understand how people have that job where they answer the 911 calls. That must really be like mentally messing with people because people
I
are
used to
calling
call.
on
Because
emergencies
you
and like.
sometimes it's emergency, sometimes it's kids playing on the phone, and you
Yeah,
know,
What's
you don't know
going
what's
on?
going on.
But you guys want to put any like last comments on this topic?
We just went off.
Word.
Nah,
Okay,
all this
after that
relates,
conversation,
bro.
y'all, I think y'all want to do go again. Like, which one y'all think is more important? Because now I think I changed. I think the mental health is more important now.
Okay.
Because I feel like, yeah, the mental health is more important.
How you see things.
Yeah, because your mental the mental controls everything. Because even if you want to be spiritual, you have to be mentally sane in order to be spiritual. Because you have to know exactly what you're believing in. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like mental is first, and then spiritual, and then physical. But mental and spiritual can
alter.
it can alter.
Yo,
yeah.
yeah.
I think physically, I think all of them are important because they all affect each other. Like physically, if I'm fat and nasty, I might not be all there spiritually or mentally because I'm gonna be mean and unhappy.
Mhm.
Like, and if I'm mentally messed up, I might overeat or not eat at all, anorexia
Yeah.
and obesity. And if I'm
Yeah.
spiritually not there, I'm not happy. So I'm gonna affect my mental or physical or both.
Mhm.
So I feel like they're all like
Yep.
important.
Damn.
Agreed.
I don't know if I feel like I'm gonna hop on a train and go along with y'all. But I get why y'all putting mental health first ahead of spiritual health.
Mm-hmm.
But I still stick with spiritual health because it's, I don't know, like I just think your spirituality is what drives you for the right mentality.
That's true.
You know, if you your spiritual, I feel like your spirituality orchestrates your mental.
Yeah.
And like I said, it goes back to your morality as a person and everything. Now, when I was saying like how you stand your ground in certain things, it's like, are you able to go against 10 people in the room and still hold your ground
Mhm.
in certain things? And I feel like that comes from like a spiritual connection.
Like how y'all did me earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not easy, bro. Like a lot of people, like, you know what? Since all of y'all saying this, I'll turn around and
I can never understand giving up like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
it's a little thing to give
like,
up
yeah,
with.
something
They broke their spirit.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Well, another thing in Islam though, like I feel like from an Islamic perspective, mental might be a little bit ahead of spiritual because if you're in Arabic, which Majnoon or Junoon, which means crazy. If you're crazy,
Retarded.
then you're exempt from even like having a judgment or good and bad or spiritual.
That's
So
like, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true. What about you, Saad?
I will stick with spiritual because
You wanna stick with
spiritual, in my head, the intention to do anything, the intention to think, the intention to move, all starts in the heart,
Mhm.
right? So that means the ability that my brain has to communicate with my body is only allowed to do that because of my spirit. And the ability that my body has to react to my thoughts is also because of my spirit. And if I can keep a balanced spirit, not only is my emotions strong and intact,
Mhm.
but I'm able to stay focused, one, and I'm able to stay grounded, two.
Mhm.
So spiritual, I feel like your spiritual health kind of affects both your mental and your physical soul. It affects them so much, whereas that's more important, but they all equal when it comes to like maintenance, you know?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
like I feel like, you know how you said earlier. You said spirituality and mental is like 25. No,
I said,
You said
physical,
physical's
25, mental is 25,
25.
and spiritual is 50.
Yeah, but you still have to put in the 100% in each of them.
Yeah.
You gotta put in
Yeah.
100%
You
effort.
still
in
got
all
to put in
of it.
100
Yeah.
for each of them.
I don't
and
get
stuff.
it.
I think I would just.
I get it.
more
I get it. Don't
33%.
explain it. I get it. We'll
I'll-
explain it to everyone
after-
get out.
yeah.
Not catch my bus. You feel me?
Yeah, that's facts. Now, you guys, you want to put your social media out?
Oh yeah,
You
y'all
can follow
definitely
you?
can follow me on Instagram at ib.by. That's my Instagram. That's the only social media I have. So yeah, y'all can follow me on there.
All right, cool. All right, I'm Gene the Genius,
I'm Saad the Guru.
And I'm Camille Lonnie.
and this has been another edition of Nabruh Talk, and we are out of here.